This is Irontrader, and this is Midday Trading. We're going to take a look here and see what natural gas is doing, what crude oil is doing, and then we're going to throw old Apple in the mix. Now, Apple today had their new products out there, and the stock was rallying up here, so let's just see how it all shakes out. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, commodity, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have natural gas, your daily and your weekly chart. Now you can see not really a whole lot here today, but we have our range here so far was the bottom was 2.14 and the top was 2.23. So realistically, compared to yesterday, it is just an inside day, okay? Which means your high and your low is within the high and the low of the previous days, okay? So let's just look at the downside here first. Well, what you really want to watch is this 2.13. That was yesterday's low, okay? On the closing basis, you want to close above this 2.16. But this is very, very key as yesterday low. Now again, if it goes below that, then we look right to the top of this candle very nicely at 2.09. And then we have your 2.8 right below that. And then we have coming right up pretty close here now is 2.056, which is your 8 SMA here. Now, as long as this maintains this rhythm up here, okay, I should say it crossed over the 50, crossed over the 21 day, and now she's rallying right up nicely. So even if it pulls down to this level here, that still might be a good scalping opportunity. Now today you really have to be quick here. The scalps are very, very small. I mean 10 cents, 15 cents at a time, like on UNG here, and you're really working for it. There was a lot better stuff out there right now because you don't have that whole lot of movement. There's kind of waiting to see what's going to go on, you know, with the natural gas here, okay? So what do we have here on the weekly? Well, again, for the week, we want to make sure that we hold on that key 21 SMA. That's at 2.097. That's what we want to hold for the week. And then if we lose that, then we have your 8-day right underneath. But your 8 days is curling up here very, very nicely here. So maybe we can push this thing just a little bit higher. Now, MACD, green over red, looking very good. Plenty of room to run on your RSI. MACD green over red here, looking very, very good. RSI here, you still got room to run here up to the upside. But yesterday we had that topping tail. So, you know, what does that tell you? Well, you know, usually the next day is not really that good. And it also went outside this price channel. We were out here for 3 days, out here for 2, and then she pulled right back in. For whatever reason, it just seems like it always wants to pull back to that 8 simple moving average. Gets back. Even when it's down, it wants to get back to that 8 simple moving average, and now we're getting closer. But if this can rally up here, 8-day, and cross over that 100-day, then we'd have some nice good support levels until it is lost. Okay, let's look at the upside. Well, obviously, we want to look at today's high. You're looking at 2.23, and then we want to look at yesterday's high at 2.262. That's going to be very, very crucial. If you can get above that, we'll just look right to this candle. You're looking at 2.31, the bottom of the candle. We have 2.32 here. Then we in this area here, you basically have like 2.38 levels going on here. And then this is your gap fill right there at 2.42, and that's your target. Then we have your 2 targets up here, 2.47 and 2.48. But everything is going to be based very, very critically here now on yesterday's high. Okay, so what you really want to watch there today is watch yesterday's high and watch the low. Okay, right now with the inside day, you don't have either. You just got small scalps going on here. Okay, so what we have here is what you always just want to watch. If it loses that area, then we could come all the way down to this nice 209 or even that 100-day or even down to that 8-day. That might be a very good buying opportunity as long as it holds. If it rallies up here and then it goes below, well, then that's really never good. Okay, if it goes below that 8 SMA, you always want to have it, you know, above. Okay, see, that's like right here. When it gets below, it just runs into it and it fights it the whole way. Okay, so just watch yesterday's high and low, and today we just have small scalps go. Let's take a look here on a 5-minute chart. Okay, we can see 5-minute chart. Now, this was yesterday. We went all the way to the high. And then what we had is we had the red candle and we had the green candle. And they were both topping tails, so that's like a tweezer top. And that comes right on down. See how the price went underneath? Okay, once it goes underneath, that's where you want to make sure once it gets underneath there, dump it. That's what I did yesterday, and I sold it all the way on down. And then what we have here is you have a nice sideways action going here. And then we make a little bit lower lows. But this is really what we have going on here today. It's just very, very choppy. It's not giving you really a whole lot action here. Okay, so the recent high was 2.22, and then we came all the way up here to this 2.23 here. But we got to see how this is going to shake out. If you can break above that 2.2, that 2.3, then we can head right to that 2.26 here. But right now, it's just not really giving you, as I say, a whole lot of juice here. Okay. However, we do have this did hold this support level here coming across, and we have a low, and we have a higher low, and we have a higher low here so far. So that's all looking good. It's just that today it's just more of a quiet for the natural gas. There just isn't much spread. Like UNGA, during the day it got down to 16, and then it got as high as 16.25. So very, very small scalping. I used to say 10 cents, 12 cents, 15 cents. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it adds up, but it's a lot of work just to get that little bit. Okay, let's take a look here at crude oil. Okay, here we have crude oil, your daily and your weekly. Now, okay, this is starting to get a little bit interesting here now. If this candle can turn red, you notice that it put in another lower low. Okay, so what is today's low? It got down as low as 77.55. I say always look to the left. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, 77.57. So it came within 2 cents. Okay, 2 cents of that candle. Now, again, if it loses that, then we go right to the next low, 77.34, and then we go right to the next candle at 76.79. Okay, so just watch that, 77.57, 734, and then 76.79. That is going to be your targets there on the downside. However, this does look not too bad right now. It could be a possible, if that candle can turn green, we might have a bottoming tail there, just like we had there, just like we had there. But right now, we just don't have that. It's still a red candle. Now, remember, those bottoming tails will come in all forms. See, we have almost like a cross going on there. This here, we have a little topper going on. See, a little bit of topper going on, a little bit of topper going on. But again, if we can get that green cross, just like we had here, then that's usually the start of a nice rally up higher. Okay. Now, again, even if it's you have that 8-day fighting it, just like we had here, and then you ran right into it. But again, once that you get above that 8-day, that 8-day can curl up pretty quick and then take it right on up here. So we got to see how this all shakes up. But you're going to have really, really strong resistance here, because now, see, well, we have your 200 SMA here at 80.15, and your 8-day is sitting at 80.19. So you're right there is where you're going to be very, very strong. So if you're going to take a long here, you want to sell at least half position going right into that key, actually like a brick wall, these simple moving averages, okay? So what you want to do is watch today's high at 79.02. Yesterday we had 79.09, a little bit lower high, okay? Then we just work yourself up 79.63, 79.90, and then we start getting into that 80 situation here. But again, this price to me, bullish, has to get above that 8 SMA here. That way she can run up, just like we had here, okay? See, so once that price gets above it, then she can run up and really, really nicely until we get these topping tails, okay, situation. But right now, if this candle turns green, this is going to be very, very interesting here as far as, maybe a reversal candle going on. But again, now I've been scalping this UCO, and you had a pretty good range on the crude today, okay? The UCO got as low as 30.80 during market time, and then they had a high here of 31.59. So you had a pretty good scalping here as far as the crude goes. Okay, so but again, we got to see if we can start rallying up here, and then what is going to happen when it does rally up into this 200-day and that 8 SMA. Very, very crucial. On the downside, obviously, just watch today's low. Okay, that's very, very critical. 77.55, and then you can come right down to here, 77.34, and then 76.79. Now, for the week, it looks like what we're doing is we've got a little pinball action here between the 8-day or 21-day and your 50 SMA here. Okay, so it's just kind of indecision. But if you can crack above that 50-day, sitting at that 78.96, then you got a good shot here to that 100-day at that 81.13. Okay, and then possibly even that 82.32. So we got to see how it closes. But it'd be really nice for the week on Friday if you can close at least above that 21-day, and be really good if you close above that 50-day. We can say that maybe the selling is kind of over with now, and she could run up. If not, you have this big target right here at 75.24 level. Okay, this doesn't tell you nothing. You're still bearish. Your green is below your red. That's still very, there's no sign here yet that this is going to be, there's no divergences, there's nothing that this is going to reverse. So again, we got to really see if this is going to be a reversal candle, if it's going to turn green, or is it just going to be another just sideways kind of a situation? Okay, let's take a look here at Apple. Okay, now here's Apple, and today they had all new products, and basically they're just upgrading all their tablets. It just looks like. Now remember, in September they have new products coming out, they have their earnings coming out, but this looks like they had a little upgrade here on all the tablet situation. Now you can see where this gapped up. This was on the earnings. Now the earnings weren't really nothing that great. They were good, but they were nothing that great. But the reason that the stock jumped up is because they're buying back $110 billion worth of shares, the highest of any company ever. And that's really the reason why it jumped up here. However, I never liked that because now you left this gap. Okay, so what we had here is you had high of 187. So let's just take a look at the upside first. Here's what you're looking at. You're looking at today's high, 184.90. If we can rally on up there, then we have that 187. Okay, again, if you can break out above that, then what we do is we just come right over here to your next candle. What you're looking at is 189.99, and then we'll bring this price channel here right across, and then what we have is 190.105, and then we'll bring him right across, and then we'll come right up to here. We have 192.20, and then we can look all the way up here at the 196.27 level. Okay, and then eventually you can work yourself all the way up to the 199.62, but again, you have to get above this 187. So this might have topped out here for now. We're not really kind of sure. But what we're doing here on key support, you can see, is what's holding nicely here so far is this 181.08. That is your 200 SMA. That's going to be very, very key. If that's lost, then we want to come over here to the bottom or to this 100 SMA at 180.54. Okay, so watch that 181.08, and then 180.54 is next. Now, here's where it gets kind of a little tricky here. Okay, so you want to watch the bottom of this candle right here. Okay, this is 180.42, just below that 100-day. Okay, now that's your gap, and then you come all the way here to the top of this candle at 173.42 for your fill. Okay, so your gap right there, 180.42, and then your fill at 173.42. So that left that gap in that fill. So if this does drop, yeah, you got support right here, you got support here, but you're going to probably eventually fill this gap very, very easy. Now, you do have the 8 days, which is moving up, your 21-day, but this is really moving up because it just gapping kind of a go, kind of a situation. But you know, it really just couldn't hold it. Now we might be just trading in a sideways range here. It just looks a little bit choppy. Okay, now when you look at your weekly chart, well, it's pretty much the same thing. Okay, so we have your 21-day here at 180.42, and then we have your upside here at 182.23. So you can see where it popped up here, but we got to see how this is all going to shake out because you could come all the way on down here. See where this 8 SMA, 173.63, and then when we look at the top of that gap there, 173.42. So you're just about right there, kind of a situation. If this happens to sell down, always watch them gap, kind of a situation. So for today, what you want to do is, as long as you can hold this 200 SMA here and this 100 SMA here, this is still good because it can be sideways action. The upside, it's got to be, you got to close above that 187. Not pop through and come back, but close above 187. Then we can just ratchet all these right on over until we get right to your big retest up here at 196 here, 38. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here later today after the pit close, and we'll go a little bit more in depth on crude and natural gas. Now, remember, just don't trade what you want, okay, or trade what you think is going to happen. Trade the charts that's right in front of you, okay? Now, natural gas is not giving you much today, so you just take what you can get. If you can get 5 cents, 8 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents, 20 cents, whatever you can get, just take what you can get. Now, crude oil, remember, just watch that candle. Okay, if that turns into a green candle, turns into a bottoming tail, then she can rip all the way up to that 200 SMA. Okay, thanks for watching.